mostly as a Oiler, and just the one loss, a 4-3.
LeBeau getting in alone on Fuhr, although he's being cut off. And Fuhr stands him up. As you see, Fuhr had his hand way up the shaft of the goal stick. Here's the penalty now. I mean, there's been 10 minutes of great action, lots of hits. Looks like it's open, but it...
Gilchrist drops the gloves. Petit roars in there. That all started back in the center ice zone when Bradley got dumped, and he grabbed a handful of sweater of Gilchrist, and we'll see how referee Merowelli sorts this up. You're watching Molson Canadian.
There's a good check, but it isn't much good when you go down and the guy you hit stays up.
Well, it is
when you go into the corner, you have to contain him
in front of the net with Lyle Odelaine and Deblois. And I think it was Odelaine who had a pretty good grasp on Deblois sticking
right on the line. And he just shoots it. It goes by Daigneault, and then is tipped by Semeta. And Patrick Roy is spoiled finally by a tip-in.
So the Maple Leafs tie the game. 34 runs on our AM lead.
Drop pass right there. Another drop pass right here. And here's the shot. Elliott didn't have a lot of time, but he had it going in the right direction. Look at Rouse, right down by the icing line. Goes to the point, and now the three blue shirts head, and it hits Swoboda. The Leafs get a whack at it right here, does Mike Foligno, but Patrick Roy makes a good stop. Look at the two Montreal defensemen grab the two Leafs and run a little interference to give Patrick a little longer to grab that loose puck.
Mike Foligno getting a little extra shift here with Marois on the box. What's the scoring here tonight?
It looked like a harmless rush coming over the Leaf blue line, but two little drop passes, and Ferrero pulls the trigger. Here's how it started. And you can see the Leafs are not outnumbered, but no one takes Ferrero, as both Zezel and the right defenseman, I couldn't see who it was, go to the other man. Grant Fuhr's beat is really gives Bakota a ride right there into the board. Well, this line, the fault line they call themselves, caused all kinds of havoc in the offensive zone. Not very many pretty goals, but a lot that come out of big-time efforts like this one. As Berube goes to the net, nobody takes him. And a good, solid, hustling play again by Mike Foligno.
This is Charles Langford of Perry Sound. Got played by Pilon, who went for the big shot. And then goaltender Weeks is down way too early. I don't want to take anything away from Merwa, but a bad play by the Islander defenseman. A goalie who prematurely went down. Merwa saw it and put it up. Ties this game at 2. Well, most of the people in the Gardens were looking at Berube nearly taking Pilon's head off, and Grant might have been taking a look at that, or some of his teammates, as they waltzed out of the zone. And McElwain, as we mentioned in the opening, can really skate, and he dances by everybody, takes a little slash from Rouse, lays Grant Fuhr down and puts it in. There's another look at it. Smooth as silk. We've only played less than 9 minutes, and it's 4 goals scored here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Basketball nets.
Oh, we know Jeff Reese is going to play tomorrow, and I'm wondering whether Tom Watt's going to put him in tonight. Although, in all fairness to Grant Fuhr, all 3 goals, the guy's been in pretty well alone on him. A nice pass here by Adam Creighton to King, who goes to the net. Krushelnyski can't take him. I think it's Krushelnyski. Can't handle him going to the net. 27. Tom Watt from 35 yards out against the wind goes for a field goal. It hits trainer Dan Lemelin in the back. So tonight, they're not there. They're over on this side.
See how good he is with it.
Pilon can't handle Foligno at all in front of the net. Weeks is tap dancing in the goal, makes the stop, and Pilon's got Foligno's stick for a second. See him? He's got a stick. And Foligno can't get it loose to try and poke that rebound that he knows is sitting right there. Kill by Semeta, who was knocked down. Look at this prone pass. And watch Weeks come across. If he'd have come across standing up, I don't think it would have been a tough stop. Todd Gill one time did.
Bakota, Nick Bakota and Todd Gill. Not sure Gill is too Excited about throwing punches yet with that broken finger of his. And it looks like more he's intent on the wrestling stages here than throwing them. And Bacota's taking advantage of it. Well, Bacota got into this fight before Gill was ready. And we know that Bacota can really throw him in this league. He's got 9 goals in his career. He got 3 of them in one game. I'll tell you one thing, Mike Bullard's got a very quick pair of hands, and he showed you right there how quick they were. He had to recover that puck as it was rolling wide, get it back out in front, put it in. A nice pass right there to Shannon. Now watch Bullard. Now, you think that he had lots of time, but if you're in that spot, you don't have lots of time. Here's another look at it. Bullard has to get it, control it, bring it back out and put it in. Mike, when the rebound comes right back to the defenseman's leg, and Grant was scrambling along and falling back into the net on the second shot. Here's the first one. Now watch Fuhr. Gets halfway up and has to go down again to make the second. Not how hard you shoot it if you get it on the right spot. Let's have a look at this play. McGuire's got it, skates over it. Curvers just gets it on the net. I mean, he's just hoping that puck gets tipped, and it actually did hit a Maple Leaf on the way in and beat Fuhr to his left. Watch it right here. Here's the shot. There it is. Hit the defenseman. And number 26. And deflect into the net. A lucky goal. 12:45. But if you put it on. Well, when you get caught for a 2-on-1 with less than 2 minutes to go in a game that you should have had put away, then this is what results. The 2-on-1, Gill was caught, and then it wasn't very well played by the defenseman to allow the pass over. You got to take the pass away. Rouse didn't, and Ferraro just redirected it in for his 5th goal in 2 nights. Number 33, Benoit Hogue, and number 26, Patrick Platt, time 18-10. Nice play by Hogue and Ray. Well, Zezel was the 3rd forward coming into the play after the shoot, and here's Allen shooting it in. It hits the Oiler defenseman and then bounds over the Oilers' stick. And Zezel, who trails everybody, 4 Oilers skated by it as it bounced around, finally came to rest, and Peter Zezel puts it inside, or whether he made the move. Nevertheless, it was a spectacular stop by Peter Ing. Marois gets 2 or 3 chances here. Nobody knocks him down. Now watch this shot by Anderson from the slot. Takes a lovely little pass from Zezel, one-times it, and Peter Ing with a tie. Well, that's Sparanic's 5th point in the last 3 games. This young Czechoslovakian takes advantage of a bad pinch right here by Todd Gill, who can't get out. Now, he doesn't make the pass. He looks, and then he shoots it on the short side. And you saw Grant Fuhr move his right foot out. Watch this now. Grant cheats a little bit to the right there. And then Baranik shoots it to his right or Grant's left. You might get away with it the odd time on bad giveaways in your own zone, but you're not going to get away with it very often. And Peter Zezel hits Nichols in the skate. It goes to Domfus over the Nichols. And Dave Ellett doesn't do a very good job on Murphy, taking him out. It's an awful giveaway here. Ellett had a bit of a chance to tie up Murphy. Couldn't do it. And Grant Fuhr, in all honesty, Godinyak. Now we get Richardson and Berube shoving with one another. Well, the Oilers are going to Richardson pinching, as we said the Oiler defense would do. Berube doesn't like it much. Moose, who's one of the better playmaking left wingers in the league, tries the pass there, and here's the last one. Now watch Fuhr. He knows the puck's going up, and he gives it a smack with his big... Another Leaf giveaway. Mellanby scores it. Another Leaf giveaway. They've really been careless in their own zone with the puck, and Mellanby wraps in the rebound. Rouse tried to get it out of the zone on a shot around the boards right here. And there's nobody there. It was just an emergency shot. There's the point shot. Mellanby comes in, grabs the rebound back. That Mike Bullard was standing on top of Peter Ing. Referee Morales is going to say that Craig Muni ran him into the net. But when you see the replay, you're going to see Ing behind the goal line as he's been knocked into the net. And here it is right here. Muni pushing Bullard right into Ing. And Bullard can't see, hear, or smell that shot. And it gets into the net behind him. The Oilers complaining. After the great chance by Tomlinson, the Leafs got caught in a 3-on-2 situation. And Peter Klima, who grabbed the puck just inside his zone, dropped it right here, then went to the net. It's a 3-on-2, and so he's tough to pick up. Grant Fuhr allowed night.
That was a low drive that was deflected, and Ing's quick reaction with the left hand, similar to the one he had in the first period.
You're right, Joe. He's well in his net, though, isn't he? Most goalies get out to the top of the circle. Here's a stop on Foligno that is a bullet, and he stopped that with his left foot. A fine save by Peter Ing.
Face off to the left. Draw one.
And Mike Bullard goes by Wendell Clark as the leading goal scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tom Foose gave the puck away and then hooked Zezel off his feet. It slides to Bullard, who with the help of Marois in front puts it home. And Wendell is no longer the goal-scoring leader for the Toronto Maple Leafs, playing only 6 games. Bullard gets his 9th.
Misses Anderson and Anderson in front of the net. And Foligno has Manson tied up in the corner, and Anderson floating around in front.
And Anderson is going to send a nice Christmas gift to Foligno, because Manson, as we know, has got a hair-trigger temper. And he was tying up Anderson in front of the net, and Anderson gave him a bit of the stick. 4. The puck goes to the point. The Leafs go to the net. Now here it is. There's Anderson taking the cross-check, and then he comes back with one of his own, and then just when the action was going to start, Mike Foligno comes in and hauls Manson off to the corner. It's a good play at the last second, and it may have been tipped because it seemed to handcuff Ing. Well, let's have a look at it here. It's a little wrist shot. Marois tips it just ever so much to deflect it over the head of Peter Ing. Now, a goaltender is going to say, how come Ing's going down? Because this one goes over his head and into the net. But the original...
Foligno is in there as well.
Well, Buchberger's going to get the second penalty. The first one goes to Shannon for hooking. Buchberger, who was watching it all from the front of the net, ran. He didn't get out of his net, and he wasn't square to the shooter, and he knew it. And this guy Nichols has got one of the better one-time shots. And Murphy lays it in. Nichols stops it and slaps it. And look where Fuhr is. Fuhr is usually well out of the legs of Grant Fuhr. The last 10 games, Greg Muni steps up. The turnover just inside the line. He grabs it. There's nothing much going, so he shoots a 56-footer. Grant Fuhr has to make 35 to 45 shot nights here for the Leafs. Here he has a bit of good fortune as Dave Hannon walks between the two Oiler defense. Watch the puck. Now, Ing doesn't know where it is. He hears it land, looks down, and it bounced straight up instead of back.
Saved off. Glenn Anderson in the crease. No goal.
But is it in the crease or is it a kick-in? This is a call that Morrell made right away. Will they go to the video replay, video goal judge?
Ed Butler is upstairs.
There's Ed saying, yes, Denny, I'll look at it if you like.
Goal as the puck was kicked into the net.
Morrell is saying, I'm making the call. I don't have to go to the goal judge. Anderson, this is the...
Oh, boy, I think that went off of the stick.
I don't know whether that goal shouldn't count. He was not in the crease when it went in. Morrell is yelling replay. They want the replay.
Well, let's get another look at it. That looked like it went in off of the... Wow.
That did.
I think the Edmonton Oilers stick knocked that into the net.
Greg
but
Muni.
the video boys aren't looking at it again.
Yeah, they are. They're running it back now.
Maybe too late.
But
here's another look behind the net. This is a tougher one. Or is it? No, maybe that is the stick.
It hit Anderson's skate. There's no doubt about that. It may have hit the stick, too, but Morrell doesn't want
Rowe and Mellenby going at each other. Mellenby
hit in the corner by Bobby Rouse.
I think the noise you heard on the hit was Mellanby's helmet against the glass. They talked to each other coming out of the zone and then decided to get into it. Two big, strong boys. Mellanby is the penalty leader for the Oilers with 107 minutes coming in it tonight. Rouse ends up on top, but I'd say that Mellanby goes outside Rouse, and Rouse does a good job of firing him right into the glass. Nothing illegal about it. No penalty. Mellanby doesn't like it, and who would? So he's saying, come on, Bob, let's go. Let's go, Bob. Bob listens to that for about 60 feet, and away they go. Well, with this line, I think you should instruct your defensemen to be very careful about pinching. They're so aggressive on the forecheck that they forget to put the last man back. Here's the pinch. It's kicked by him. And Petit comes down later, and here's the 2-on-1. And it's a long wait till it's finally over to Buchberger, who gets his 10th goal of the year on a nice play from McTavish. 1. Michel Petit's trapped. Shannon stalled him off for as long as he could, but whenever you allow the pass across on a
Craig Simpson. And this one is just about in the books.
Well, the Leafs offensively have shot their bolt in the second period. They had 32 shots. They've only had 6 this period. Again, going to the net without the puck is such an important factor. A lovely pass by Semenov as Mike Foligno cannot catch Simpson. You have to get position on your man or you're reaching. And when you're reaching, you're really at the mercy of whether it's a bad...
Peter Ing celebrates the victory, his second as an Edmonton Oiler, as the Maple Leafs head to the dressing room in a disappointing result. And the Oilers have won a big one.
Well, it wasn't a goaltender's night at either end, although they were left in helpless shape on more than one occasion by their teammates, but a sweet win for Peter Ing.
Came very quickly
out of nowhere. Watch this. He held it into his body. Would that have gone in? Would have been close. He did get a piece of it right off of his left skate, but then it went in between his legs. There's the turnover. Caps were quick to move the puck up, and Peter Bondra just blasts this puck.
He and Kyprios pushing at each other. Kyprios is steamed after the hit from Petit. Now Halkitis comes in and front of the net. Dale Hunter. Maple Leaf Gardens needs to put one of those good ones back into the books. Miller chases him.
The check. But look at Versado just gets out of the way, and it's one of those knee-to-knee collisions. And there goes Foligno with his right leg. And before he landed, he knew his leg right there. And you can see that on the way down, he grabs his knee. And you know, especially if you're a football fan, Joe, when those guys grab their knee as soon as they land, they could be out. Right there, knee to knee, and you can see his ankle. Might be his ankle and not his knee, but
he might have broken his leg.
Well, they're going to bring the stretcher out. We'll look at this one more time. Oh, it might be his ankle, yeah. Anyway, Mike Foligno, who's been probably the Leafs' best forward the past month, in the last 8 games, 4 goals and 2 assists, leads the team in energy, is up there among the leaders in hits, one of the better forecheckers, and certainly one of their most enthusiastic performers. And now he looks like he's going to be gone for a while. Let's hope it's not too serious. They're going to immobilize his leg and then put him on. After I give Housley that big puck, I hope you kept your eye on him, because he was the guy that gave Marois the puck to give the Leafs a lead here with 14-14 left in the first period. The Jets were confused for a fair little while in their own zone, but the confusion ended up in a disaster as Marois ever so lightly
We're on a
slides
ball
the
scored
puck
by
past
number
the
32,
sprawling
Daniel
Tabaracci.
Merwa. Assist number 25, Peter Zepp.
Saw Shannon and going to shoot it, slid him a nice hard pass, and Barnes tipped it in perfectly. This guy's a great creator of plays, Phil Housley. And Barnes, who gets his 7th goal of the year, makes no mistake, but he does get his glove up in Garubi's face.
Alexander Godinyak.
Well, the Leafs should hope I should start talking about the referees again.
That's right.
Godinyak came off the point and back in front of the net and gets knocked down. That's the guy who should be looking for Godinyak. But, of course, he can't. He's lying down in the crease. Krushelnyski spots Godinyak, and Godinyak beats Tabaracci in a crowd to put the Leafs up 2-1. Here to start the 2-on-1. Now, Bersado gets it over and then goes to the net. The Leaf defenseman, Gill, is right out to lunch on the play. He doesn't block the pass. He doesn't stay on his feet and take the pass receiver. But Bersado, if he was left-handed, the score would be 2-2, but he misses the pass across from Evans and ends up kicking it towards Fuhr, who makes the save. Evans has had an interesting season. He has a terrible streak. Let's have a look at it behind the net. It comes off the end of the rink, and Loisel wants to deke Tabaracci and put it between his legs. Then he gets another chance lying down, but Frederick Olsson with a skate prevented. As Fuhr did, this kind of stuff develops. Marwan Osborne started the scene at Godinyak overskates the puck, and Troy Murray gets it, passes it. And here's the play that should have resulted in a goal, and it looks like it could have been interference in front of the net as Troy Murray crossed over. There's the giveaway. Evans gets it back to Murray. Now Evans runs Fuhr over and gets him out of the way, but Murray rolls it off the crossbar. No penalty to Evans, no goal for Murray.
For the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Stanley Cup champions.
26-year-old Tom Barrasso got a night off when last this team played. He's the #1 goalie in a cumbersome 3-goalie system. Frank Pietrangelo is the backup tonight as Wendell Young.
Well, McGuire looked to pass the puck, and then he decided he had so much open room that he was going to go in on Barrasso himself. He was inserted into the lineup tonight in place of Mike Foligno, and watch him. He just looks like a pretty nifty goal scorer here. He goes to his backhand. He's coming right at you, folks. Nice little deke, and puts it right underneath of Tom Barrasso's glove.
He acquired Greg Mullen last week, so he can get the odd night off, but not tonight. He's in again. And, of course, tonight, another big test for Grant Fuhr. Shell for 12 goals by Pittsburgh on Thursday. Fuhr faces the much improved.
Made the shot. Steve Yzerman was caught in front of the net. As you can see, the Red Wing defenseman Lindstrom goes behind the net. McCrimmon to the corner, and Yzerman can't quite get to Merwa on time. There's Merwa. He's away, out about 25 feet. It's a long way for a defenseman to go. Now watch Yzerman. He realizes the problem, but he's one step slow getting there. By then, a perfect shot gave the wave-off sign. And I don't know what the call is going to be. Was it someone in the crease?
He's at the timekeeper's bench now, as you see, and the announcement is forthcoming. Likely interference in the crease.
Let's have a look at it again. Todd Gill.
Here's the
And
skate.
nobody takes Kerr, who walked out of the corner. Bob Rouse had him in the corner and let him go.
Fedek was in the crease. We still haven't heard the announcement.
So Brent's left in his penalty. The Leafs get their second power play goal of the night. Dave Ellett, his 8th of the year and his 4th on the power play. It's a harmless little play, but when you let Dave Ellett walk to the top of the circle, he's going to get it away now. Did Glenn Anderson touch it, or did Ellett put it in? Anderson tried to touch it, but I don't know whether he did. Might have been going in anyway. If Ellett was in front of the net, you'll see him to the right there. And as the shot comes, you can see Chason pushes him into it. Here's maybe a better shot. There's Chason 3 with Anderson 10. Here comes the shot, and it deflects.
deflected off Chevelday and then hit Anderson. I think it hit him right where the helmet.
So by Fiore's glove hand.
While Alan Kerr, who was acquired from the New York Islanders in the Rick Green trade, scored a goal earlier they called back. The initial rush was by Lidstrom. He grabs the rebound after a pretty good chance at Grant Fuhr, rolls it in front, and Petit stuck with two guys to worry about. Kerr 18, Yzerman 19.
And number 19, Steve Yzerman.
And he chooses to go to the middle of the two of them, and Kerr really rifled it to beat Grant Fuhr.
And lost it to Shepard.
Well, Ray Shepard, who's got one of the quickest shot deliveries in the National Hockey League, picked the pocket of Kevin McGuire, and before Grant Fuhr could get anywhere near ready, this is just an abysmal play by McGuire. He had all kinds of time to move the puck to his defense partner, wouldn't do it, must have thought no one was around, and then overskates the puck as Shepard picks his stick up from behind. Now look at this shot by Shepard. A little...
Bezel took the pass, and then the rocket.
Thought it was a great pass. It was a great play by Zezel to get himself in the clear, and then he made a perfect shot. Daniel Marois with a terrific pass. He gets the blue line to keep Zezel onside. Zezel found the opening as Lindstrom pinched and got nailed, and then up over Chevelday's head to make it 3-2.
Assist number 32, Daniel Marois, and number 24, Michel Petit.
Bottom to tie the game.
Well, Michel Petit got back on the ice and got back into the play, but Kevin Miller really rifled a lovely pass right up and over Grant Fuhr. Watch this. Miller gets it here, or Yzerman to Miller. Miller hasn't got it on a stick for 1 millisecond, and it's in. Yzerman to Miller to a tie game. A perfect shot. Well, Steve Yzerman, who has personally destroyed the Leafs in the past, this is his 63rd game. He has 43 goals, 55 assists for 98 career points against the Leafs, and a beautiful pass here to Chason, who makes no mistake. Chason walks off the point. Gary Lehman and Bradley, one of the two forwards, should have had him, forgot about him, or didn't see him. And
A lot of pushing and shoving.
McGuire and Marsh started all this, as Marsh doing his job as a defenseman, trying to push McGuire out of the way. And before you know it, we've got a half a dozen players actively involved.
The Red Wings have taken the lead. Chason scoring from Yzerman and Fedek at 4:07, and the tempers flare again. Looks as if the officials have it all quieted and sorted.
2 or 3 Leafs would like to get a piece of Konstantinov, who's been a tough competitor for the Wings tonight.
So it is 4-3 Detroit. They lead for the first time in the game. At the lip of the crease, tipped it in. Another power play goal for Detroit.
Well, I think the Red Wing power play is much more effective when Steve Yzerman plays on the side of the rink as a forward and not on the point. And here's exactly why. From here, he can make all kinds of great little plays. He's got the point man to give it to. He had Gallant to give it to. Gallant
That'll be waved off, but Levy says that Yzerman did magic with the puck.
Detroit Red Wings. This goal is called back for that violation right there, as I think it's Alan Kerr skates through the crease and causes the goal to be nullified.
Number 18,
and this
Alan
is a
Kerr.
good call.
And Lehman finally put it in. Leafs are within 1.
Gary Lehman lets a hard shot go that Chevelday handles without any trouble, but the rebound's a little too fast. Anderson gets a stick on it. Chevelday can't. Lehman, who made the original. Now you know it was going to happen if they kept allowing Detroit to forecheck, come up with the puck, walk out from the corner, and get a chance. And finally, Fedorov
put it in. Ray Shepard had 2 great chances. And here's one of them here as he walks out from behind the goal. Nobody takes him. He gets 1. He gets 2, and he misses the net. You can see Yzerman jumped up. They thought they scored. And then Fedorov from about 15 feet out finally puts it by Grant Fuhr. Some horrible...
Peters from behind.
But Marois got to leave him alone. The Red Wings may have to play the rest of this period shorthanded because Fedorov just jumped Halkitis.
Well, let's see what happens here. This will be an interesting call from Bill McCreary.
Halkitis might get away with no penalties. Definitely the Red Wings are going to get the extra 2, and they may get the extra 4. Here's the play right here, Halkitis and Fedorov. They went to the corner. There was 2 or 3 guys tripped, and then right here you can see Fedorov attacks Halkitis from behind. And the first couple of punches were with Fedorov's gloves on, which was a nice move by Fedorov that I'm sure Halkitis...
Worth the timeout now.
No, it's not, because you're going to want this timeout when there's less than a minute to go. Well, this guy really has to have Grand Flakes for brains to do this. Now they got 6 people from security coming out to get him. And the fans are cheering him. But he should be wondering who's going to come up with the bail money. That's what his problem is right now. If he can remember who his friends are.
He might be having a little trouble remembering who he is.
This is a rush down the ice that Fuhr hasn't seen before as they're going by Grant and out of the end of the rink. And well, the scramble along the boards, the Red Wings came up with the puck. There were as many Leafs as Wings trying to get it. It bounced into the neutral zone, and Yzerman gets his 19th goal of the season and his 3rd of the night on the empty net as he dances past all the Leafs, especially Shannon, and puts it in to the empty net. The Red Wings 6, the Leafs 4, 35 seconds to go, and after a long, hard struggle, the Red Wings are going to get 2 points here at Joe Louis Arena.
Paul Yzerman's hat-trick goal. I think just minors in the American Hockey League.
And Doug Gilmour, the only newly acquired player to dress and play. Also in the lineup, Wendell Clark, who dished out the first hit of the game 6 seconds in to Konstantinov. 1:55 into the game, Leafs in a power play, take the lead. Bullard gets the puck here, feeds Gilmour, who banks it in off Greg Millen, who had a mysterious first half. And it's 1-0 for the Leafs. And all of a sudden, Gilmour getting involved offensively and physically. A little later on, Gilmour plays quarterback in the power play, collects a second point, this time sets up Daryl Shannon at the point, who drilled it home, and it's 2-0. 30 seconds after that, the Wings got on the board. Leafs restore the 2-goal lead here. Zezel drops the puck for Bob Rouse, who lets a long-distance one fly to the short side past Millen, and it's 3-1. Wings come back, however. Nicholas Lidstrom with the lead pass to Paul Eisbert, who had a game tonight. Moves in all alone, and this was a common theme. Grant Fuhr defenseless. This time he's beaten, and the Leaf lead is trimmed to 3-2. A little later on, Yzerman hauled down in a break, and you make the call on this one. The referee McCreary called it a penalty shot. Some of us could be persuaded otherwise, although nobody in Detroit was arguing this one. And the most exciting play in hockey, and Steve Yzerman really knows what he's doing here. Doesn't drill it home, just goes in, shoots, and scores. Tied at 3. Tempers flared later in the period. Probert and Halkitis try to get at each other. Actually, Halkitis gets after Gauthier. Probert mad that he's fighting somebody else.
St. Louis Blues down the stretch. 13-9 and 7, 2.87 as you see there, his goals against average. And as he has all season long at the other end, Grant Fuhr gets the call for Tom Watt. Rick Wandley has not seen a moment's work yet.
All Fuhr did on the first one, but the rebound came out into the slot. Now watch Brett Hull. He knows that forward had to come back. Anderson way back in to take the point man away. And so he just stepped about 5 feet into the middle of the ring and 5 feet toward the net. And what do you think was there? And it was only there for a second. And then it was behind Grant Fuhr for Red Hull's
2-0.
Well, Emerson gave you a little taste there of his speed and his agility. I think the shot he took hit a sprawling Todd Gill, and Reed changed direction and beat Grant Fuhr. But Emerson can really dangle. Cuts to the middle. Nice interference run by Lowry. Down goes Gill early. Yes, sir. And it hits his stick and goes just under the crossbar. So a little luck.
Number 22, Ron Sutter.
Ellett gets the shot away quickly. It bounces off the defenseman Zombo and then hits the crossbar and comes right down. And there's the catch.
Boy, they're having
the Glenn Anderson I remember from the Edmonton Oilers in their heyday. What a pair of hands he showed us there. He took the pass on the backhand and got it around to the front hand. Bobby Halkitis pinches down to keep it in. Now watch this play by Anderson. This is one few players could make. The puck's rolling, backhand, forehand, back to the side. Joseph starts from. First, Anderson goes to the net.
And number 33,
and then he pulls his magic right here.
21. Glenn Anderson from Doug Gilmore.
Anderson from Gilmore and Halkitis.
24 to go. Rob Sameta on a wraparound play. Swung out from behind the net to get his 4th goal of the year. Here's the shoot in. It's an attempted pass to Anderson. It's deflected into the corner. Anderson bumps it behind the net. 2 St. Louis Blue players go to Anderson. Butcher can't cut it. Sameta off. And Sameta puts it in. Curtis Joseph didn't play that as well as he should have. But any goalie will tell you the wraparound.
On goal. Deep shoot. Half saved by Grant Fuhr.
Recovered it. Tried to stick handle standing still, and Nelson Emerson gets a breakaway from the red line. Fuhr plays it like he's done it before.
Toronto goal scored by number 4, Dave Ellett. This is number 10, Glenn Anderson. Time 4:51.
A neutral zone giveaway by the St. Louis Blues. A heads-up drop pass by Anderson, and a great verbal call for the pass by Dave Ellett resulted in the winning goal for the Leafs. Cavallini gives it away. Anderson comes in here, and he hears Ellett call for it. So he drops it to him. That allows Ellett to go to the top of the circle, and he fired one over the stick glove of Joseph. Anderson's going to dump it in till he hears Ellett. Then he drops it. And then Ellett gets a free step, and when you let him have a step, it's a pretty tough shot to stop. Joseph got a bit of it, Joe, but not enough of it. And Anderson, a fitting night for him. He's been the best Leaf forward and gets a big-time